On this week's Lawyerist Lens, we're going to talk about how to keep track of your time. Now, first of all, the way to keep track of your time is not to try and reconstruct it after the fact by looking back over the last week or month and trying to make estimates. That's not fair to your clients, and it's inefficient and ineffective for you. Either you're going to lose time or you're going to overbill your clients. So we can do better than that. Second, even if you're doing flat fees, you should still keep track of your time because that's how you figure out what your time is worth and whether or not your effective hourly rate is what you need it to be to hit your revenue goals for your firm. So you should be keeping track of your time no matter whether or not you're billing by the hour. Okay, so how to do it? So the first way to do it is just to keep track of your time in real time and then later enter it into your billing software to send to your client. The easiest way to do this is obviously to just carry a notebook with you and jot down your start and end times and a description of what you're doing and who you're doing it for. Easy enough. Lots of lawyers have done that. Keep a couple of notebooks, one on the desk, keep another one in your car, keep another one in your pocket or your briefcase or your bag. Just keep them with you. You can also do it electronically, but effectively the same way. So Notepad on Windows, for example, makes this really easy. Just hit F5 and it will enter a timestamp into the note that you're working on. And then you can write down your client's name and a description of what you're doing and timestamp it again when you pause or when you stop. On Mac, you'd have to set up a shortcut using something like Text Expander, but it's easy to do. You can also do it in a Word document by using a tool to set up a keyboard shortcut. You could use Auto Hotkey or just use Find and Replace in Word. You can also use apps for this, obviously. They have the same drawback, though, as writing it down in a notebook, which is that later you have to enter it into your billing software. You could also just use a spreadsheet. If you use something like Google Docs or Office Online, then you can even have multiple people billing to the same spreadsheet at the same time, which makes it super convenient. But again, same drawback. Your timesheet, you eventually need to get into your billing software. So consider just entering it into your billing software. Whether you use something like Clio or MyCase or Cosmolex or Practice Panther. So the easiest thing to do is just to use the same thing to track your time that you're going to use to bill your clients. And for most lawyers, that's going to be your practice management software, whether it's Clio or MyCase or Cosmolex or Zola or Practice Panther or whatever. All of those practice management software services have timekeeping built into them. And the easiest thing to do is just to use that built-in function to track your time as you work so that you don't miss any time. And then when it comes time to bill the clients, you just click a few buttons and generate an invoice and off it goes to the client. Now, some people find it useful to use an app to track time passively in the background as well. There's a few different ways to do that. Smokeball, for example, includes a passive time tracker. There's an app called Chromita that will do it for you. And what these do is they keep an eye on what you're doing on your computer, and there are some that will also work on your phone or your tablet. And so it'll know from the title bar in the window what document you're working on in Microsoft Word, for example. And some of them are smart enough that you can categorize certain things to different clients. But you get to the end of the day or the week and you go back and you assign that time that you spent working on that document to a matter. And some of them can even import into your practice management software. So Chromita, for example, you can click a few buttons and import it into several practice management software packages so that you don't actually have to go back and enter the time yourself. You just click a button and it's there. So that's the easiest way to do it, is just to track it right in your software, but sometimes it's easier to just jot it down. So those are the options that I think there are for time tracking. If you've got some new ones or some different ones, or you've got a different practice that you use, go ahead and enter it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. But if you're wondering what the world of options out there, it's quite small and it's a variety of ways to track time as you go, a couple of passive time tracking options, and entering it directly into the software that you're going to use to keep track of your cases, your matters, and your time, and bill your clients. So tune in next week for another Lawyerist Lens. Before you leave, though, please hit the subscribe button and ding the bell, and that way you'll get notified when we have a new episode.